CLNV still continuing on our implied path to the upside. Let's go ahead and grab some details as far as the next session now. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a CLNV technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis on this fine hump day Wednesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right in. So before we get started, you guys, please make sure to not fall for any of the scammers on the comments saying that they are me and insinuating conversation via WhatsApp. So please know that I don't have a WhatsApp. I will never give my phone number like that, and I will certainly not message you first. Okay, you guys, do not fall for those scammers, as they are only trying to catch your money. Okay, definitely stay cash. Definitely just make sure not to consider them, okay? And if you feel compelled to reach out to me, DM me or send me an email. You can actually find that email on the About section of my profile here on the channel, okay, you guys? So I just wanted to start off with that real quick, as I am getting some requests from some people regarding the WhatsApp stuff, okay? So yeah, I don't have a WhatsApp, guys. It's only Discord, YouTube, and Twitter where I am presently active. I do have stock tweets and Instagram, but I'm literally never there. Okay, you guys. So definitely, please do not fall for that. I actually hate that I'm hearing that. Really, really sorry, you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and now dive into the charts and see what's going on for CLNV, as it is still moving on our implied path, and we are very much on that upside trajectory. Okay, so we did mention that we were within this very complex ascending broadening wedge, which usually presents a bearish outlook, but in this case, my move to the upside, which I did mention, I was actually more interested in making the third touch of the resistance from this ascending broadening wedge. Okay, so that's actually presenting a massive opportunity and could potentially be an area for take profit at about 33 cents if it doesn't continue on to the upside, you know, by using the second wave as support after we do touch this upside. Okay, but right now the relevance of the 33-cent zone is actually it's in sight, okay, but we do have to trigger some FOMO and trigger some buy volume to continue that. Okay, so as you can see down here in the very hard to see volume profile, we are suggesting some buy volume coming in. Okay, so this is very, very, very good. Okay, so now we have to consider how we're moving with literally all green bars right here. Okay, so know that it's not always going to be just green, green, green all the way. Okay, there's always a point of pullback, just like here amongst all these green candles. Okay, so know for a fact, prepare your emotions for that. Okay, but try to keep them out of it as much as humanly possible. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to the next chart for CLNV. Okay, so this is the silly, stupid cup and handle that I hate. I hate calling out, but it's okay. All right. So this is the broadening wedge that we're looking at in this here. But notice that it is the 8-hour chart, but I just drew it over here just so you can gain reference. Okay, as this is the 3-day chart. It's looking more of a macro perspective. Okay, so this cup and handle appears to be now in its succession, and it does have a price objective. Okay, so that price objective is actually about 33 cents, which is also in confluence with the 33-cent zone we're looking at right over here as the test number 3 of the resistance from this broadening descending wedge. So there is a lot of rhyming there. Another thing to notice as well is that the 3.618 is also located at that 33-cent zone. So this is yet again suggesting that 33-cent zone as a relevant area for a take profit target or face some resistance before taking a breath, right? So even if we do realize this 33-cent zone, we do have very important supports below us. Okay, so we do have the 24-cent zone at the 2.618 as a relevant form of support, and also the 1.618. Okay, it's not to say that we can't use the 2 fib or the 2.272. I'm just giving you the more likely outcomes in this case. Okay, so do know that there are, upon beating all this price action here, we have some very strong areas of support on the way back down before continuing on to the the upside, as I still see some more upside beyond the 33-cent zone upon reaching it, okay? But it's very difficult for us to see into that future based on a 3-day chart. Please notice that the 3-day chart will be closing in about 22 hours. So this candle closing in a bullish manner like this will only propel buyers, okay? So it'll only increase the psychological component of what's already happening here within the cup, within the third touch of the resistance from the broadening ascending wedge, all that good stuff. The 3.618 target right up here, everything's going to lead into the people's heads. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to the next chart. So this is the statistical side of the analysis, where we actually took a back test regarding volatility versus momentum, and we actually, let me just go ahead and quickly explain it, okay? I can't explain the huge amount of details on this, as there is a lot of preparation that I'm doing right now for the educational channels within the Discord. Okay, so anytime that volatility has reached the critical volatility zone, which is anything above the 90 percentile, I'm sorry, within the 90 percentile or 90% and above, I have taken a note of that iteration's duration, the upside thrust, and the amount of times that volatility versus momentum have guessed the upside correctly versus incorrectly. Okay, so that gave us a set of statistics over here. So now the statistics are coming in as such. Particular to the 3-day time frame of the CLNV asset, out of 10 iterations total, we have 7 correctly guessed to the upside, which gives us an average upside accuracy of 70% with an average upside thrust of a massive 4,347.10% over the span of about just over 84 days. This is proof of work. Okay, so now if we're getting this statistical variance, we now have an implied target. Okay, so the firing of the signal actually did happen at the opening of this candle here on December 15th. So the firing of that signal has now moved the price action thus far. Let's see, I will go ahead and show you. We have moved a total of about 120% that move. Okay, so now that we have, this is actually something I didn't mention yesterday. Now that we do have the firing of the signal, which was literally right down here at the opening of this candle, which is right here at about 3 cents, 3.75. Now we can go ahead and apply the actual metric. So let's go ahead and move our 4,000% upside metric to the opening of that candle to see what could be the upside projected target. Okay, so this is probably close enough. All right, so we are looking at a top target of about $1.66, which is just about $1 under our previously implied target. So let's go ahead and adjust that and take a look here. So it's still within the same area. We're still looking at a massive amount of support, and we're looking at resistance right over here. So yeah, there's still a lot of confluence within this target here. All of this was support as well. All right, so yeah, so if upon realizing the upside trajectory, but please know that these are just statistical variables. They're not certainties, okay? We're certainly not speaking of certainties, as nothing is guaranteed in the market itself, okay? So now the 33-cent zone that we're looking at is actually located right about here, and it would be arguably about a good 65 to 70%, I would say 65%, the distance to that upside target of 4,300% at about $1.65, okay? So this is still looking pretty good, and momentum is still suggesting an upside continuation. A little bit of a pivot here, but that's it's normal. Okay, so another thing I did mention this, that we are going to be closing this 3-day candle in 22 hours, and that would present some bullish price action to continue. Okay, now let's move on to the next chart. Okay, so this was actually the first chart I ever had drawn for CLNV, and this was actually on November 29th or November 30th, just right around the 1st of December. And I was calling out a few things that actually ended up happening, and now we are continuing on that upside path. So usually these descending channels present a reversal of price action trend in general. Okay, so we have succeeded that fourth and true breakout of the resistance from the channel itself, and we have come back and tested for several days the newly converted resistance into support support before a bounce to the upside. And as you can see here, we actually used, in this 2-day iteration, we actually used the 3-spot 272 located at about 8 cents. We used it almost to the penny today as a form of resistance before coming back down. If we do face some downside, we are likely to find a bounce at about the, I can give you a range, but it's likely at the 2-spot 618 at about 7 cents, okay? But the range would essentially be a support area between the 2-spot 272 at 639 and the 2-spot 618 at 707, okay? If we did come back to use something as support before continuing on to the upside, okay? So the targets that I did mention are very likely for us to touch in the immediate short term are in fact still at the 4-spot 236, okay? So the 4-spot 236 is located right at the top of this huge shooting star doji that we called out days ago. All right, so still looking at that target for a potential pullback. Hopefully we can actually use the 3-spot 272 or the 3-spot 618 at 90 cents as a form of support before continuing on to the upside. All right, so now let's go ahead and move on to the last part of the analysis. This is the divergence, okay? So divergence is the opposition of price action versus momentum. In this case, momentum represented by RSI, relative strength index, okay? So as you can see, we have printed 1, 2, 3 drives of phantom hidden bullish divergence, which is usually when price action is making a series of higher lows and the momentum indicator is making a series of lower lows. Okay, so here are those 3 drives, and we are still in the succession of them and the continuation of them. Okay, so please notice that the 12-hour time frame RSI signal, which is the purple line, is still in a very, very interesting area. This is we are in the grips of the bull strength percentile, and usually when we're in the grips of the bull strength percentile, that means the upside is very likely going to continue. Okay, the moving average, which is below us, and it's a simple 14-day period, which is standard to any RSI setup, is now pivoting towards the upside, which is very bullish, and actually it being below us is bullish in and of itself. So now let's open up a multi-pane so that we could gauge that true bias for the immediate short term to the medium term. Okay, so 30-minute immediate short term is suggesting some sideways trading, both by the RSI signal and a simple moving average. But please always consider the position of your RSI signal. Okay, we are definitely in the grips of the bull strength percentile, and usually when we're in this gravitational pull zone here, we're likely to be pulled right into the following zone, which would be the overbought percentile. Okay, so still looking very good even in the immediate short term. So now the buy hourly is still suggesting a massive upside. Is already in the grips of the overbought percentile, but as you can see, we still have massive overhead. For example, here in this iteration on August 31st, which is 91.76%. Well, we're currently sitting at about 76%, so still massive overhead to go for a continuation to the upside. This other iteration here, look at this. This is already at about 98% RSI. This was back in April 2020. All right, so now let's look at the 6-hour time frame, as it is suggesting massive upside as well, and it's still pretty aggressive. The pivot of the RSI 14 days simple moving average is now starting to pivot towards the upside, which is very bullish. We're right at the junction between overbought and bull strength percentile, which means a gravitational pull is very likely tomorrow. Okay, so now the daily time frame, we already saw the daily. Yeah, we saw the 12-hour. So let's look at the daily. Daily is very much in the bull strength percentile, suggesting massive upside. Bi-daily, suggesting massive upside, well within the grips of the bull strength percentile. 3-day, literally at the junction between overbought and the bull strength, suggesting a continuation to the upside. And 5 days, still suggesting upside. So this is likely going to be a multi-day upside continuation for CLNV. Okay, so things are looking very good. Please know that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment. Okay, as I can't actually suggest for you to buy or sell any assets. I need you to do your own DD and everything will be just fine. Okay, you guys. So yeah, I'm still looking at some relevant targets. I'm still looking at some huge targets to the upside for CLNV, as this play has not diminished any of that bull strength. Okay, so this is fiery hot. and it's still suggesting massive upside. All right, you guys, but if you feel like reaching out to me, please don't hesitate to do so. I'll leave the links in the description for you to consider joining the ARCa trading community. The Twitter link will be there. My email is in the about section of the YouTube channel. So yeah, you guys, with that said, I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.